Hey everyone, welcome to UMA Talks. My name is Natalie and I'm a team member of UMA New York, and today we have UMA Talks with our founder Rita. Hi Rita.
Hi Natalie, hi everyone.
So guys, thank you for all your questions on our kind of unregular topic for conversations about work, because this week we talked about kindness. And I'm so glad that you have such a beautiful questions about kindness. And so today, right now, we're gonna discuss your questions with Rita, and Rita will help you and will guide you through your questions, and will give you advice on how to spread kindness at work, how to be kind, how to cultivate kindness. And at the end of this talk, you know what? We will announce the topic of our next week. So let's get started. And our first question is from Samara, and Samara is asking, how can I show kindness at work? So Rita, what can we tell to Samara?
Hi Samara, that's a really nice question. So kindness comes in all shapes and forms. It can be small, tiny acts. It could be huge acts, as long as it's something that you feel it's genuine, it's something that comes from yourself. It could be just saying good morning to somebody. It could just be thank you after they've given you something, or they've asked to get you some coffee in the morning. It could be when you finish off a Zoom call or a phone call with someone, just to say that, compliment them on something. Or, for somebody's birthday or special occasion, just to sort of bring that to mind. So it's the little thing that counts, as people say. So don't worry about doing big things. It's the small little things every day is what kindness is all about.
Oh, thank you so much, Rita. And it's so I think it's easier to spread kindness when we are really together in a real office, when we can see our coworkers, when we can make a coffee for someone, or just say, hey, I love your outfit. And it's kind of trickier when we are together alone. And our next question is from Stacy. And actually, Stacy is asking, how to cheer up coworkers when we are all work from home? So how to implement these tiny actions when there is no way I can just stop by and make coffee for you?
But that's also a really good question, Stacey. But just little things, like if you are having Zoom calls or conversations, you can still be kind. Kindness is about how you phrase your words. It's about pausing. It's about waiting for somebody to speak first and listening to them before giving them your opinion. These are all ways of showing kindness. Kindness isn't just a smile, which has also been kind as well. It's about the little things. So, for example, if you're having a two-way conversation, take the time to listen. Ask them a question. How was your day? How was your weekend? Or how are you today? Listen to them. Ask them a question back. So, wow, that's so nice to hear. And acknowledge that. So just remembering things about people makes a difference too. So use those skills. Whether it's a phone call, whether it's on Zoom, you can absolutely appreciate something. I like nice haircut, or I like your glasses, Natalie, or just something like that. It's just little acts of kindness that you can show to people, even from home.
Oh, thank you, Rita. It's so good. And as a mom, probably you're teaching your kids kindness since like the very small age, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think, with my two, and they're only 5 and 7, kindness is something I guess a lot of parents do with their children, but I've been teaching mine since day one. Just little things about using, saying their pleases and thank yous, smiling. A challenge can sometimes be waiting, being patient, and sort of waiting for somebody to finish before interjecting. But these are all kind acts, as well as just sort of what helps you later on in a professional setting, in a school setting, later in life. So these are just setting you up for later on, really. So start young, start now, I say.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of investment. And our next question actually is from father, and it is from Rohan, and he's asking how to help kids to spread kindness. So what is our maybe extra advice? So how can we help to Rohan?
Rohan, that's a lovely question, and I'm glad you're taking this on board. And I especially love it when fathers come on board and actually ask this question as well. It's just the little things. Being kind. If you take your kids out to the park, for example, or take them out to play sport, whatever it is that you engage in your kids in whatever activity. Little kind things about taking turns, for example, about smiling at somebody else, about sort of asking somebody, if you bump into one, my two children are always fighting, but if one bumps into somebody else, I ask one to ask the other, are you okay? So it's almost like actions have consequences, and that is one act of showing kindness, especially to children. So great question, Rohan. And just start with the little things that counts, and it's the behavior that starts from now on, and the messages that you give. The other thing I would say, Rohan, and this is to all parents out there, that it's not just how you teach kids how to be kind, they observe you as well. They observe us adults in everyday life. How we are, how we show kindness is really how they reflect and mirror what we're doing. So just be mindful of how you are at home as well.
Oh, thank you, Rita. It's definitely all our things are a teamwork, like a family, small team where children just try to do and to experiment with what they see parents do. And it's also important to get healthy and kind habits from being very, very small. And we have one more. Actually, we have a few more questions. And the next one is from Anindya. And Anindya is asking how to cultivate kindness at my team. So what we can say when it comes to teaching like big kids being more kind and friendly to each other.
And that's a really, really lovely question. I would say it's first think about why you're trying to be kind in the first place. The fact that you're acknowledging it means that it's a great step in the right direction. You know what? People feel good. It's a positive step when you're being kind. There's research out there that shows that if you are kind to somebody, they reciprocate it. They be kind back. You can make or break somebody's day just by taking a pause and say, hey, how are you feeling? How was your day? Or by asking them something about something they worked on, a project that's due this week, and acknowledging them, say, hey, good job, by the way, I really like how you did X, Y, and Z. So it's the little things that count, as I always say, but start from now and make the effort. If you are kind yourself, you will see that the rest of your team are going to start following suit. Lead by example in the year.
Oh, thank you, Rita. It's such a good point. And, there is a perception sometimes that like a stereotype that being kind can be perceived as being weak, and it's pretty like controversial topic. And I think that some people are avoiding being more kind because it can be a challenge, because no one wants to be perceived as a weak person, especially when it comes to work. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? I couldn't disagree more with that, because I think kindness is not a sign of weakness. It's the opposite. If anything, if you are kind, you are caring. You've got to be caring to make your work-life balance, to make your work culture succeed. So if you care about your work, you need to be kind. Think about your teammates, your colleagues. It's like saying the difference between when you are pitching an idea in a meeting, are you polite in the way that you do it? Are you brash? And people remember that. You can still insert yourself. You can still be professional. You can still come up with good ideas, and you can make your point short and sweet, but you can still do it in a kind way. You can still interject, but doing it in a diplomatic way. Sometimes people convey messages and confuse them, especially in meetings where they think, I couldn't get a word in. What do I do? You can still do that, but you can be kind. You say, oh, I wanted to thank my colleague here for making that great, great point. I just wanted to add, and then you keep going. So what have I done? I've done it in a kind way, but I've inserted myself into the conversation. So you can do this in a very professional manner. Just do it kindly. It will serve you right in the long run.
Rita, I'm so happy that we discussed the topic about being kind and not being perceived as weak at work, because we have a question from Anna, and she's asking, can Uma help me with this and give me some exercise or something like and practice every day to build a healthy habit and to know what actually I can do to be kind and not being perceived as weak at my work?
That's a great question, Anna. And I think, some of the other questions I've also said is that you just have to be yourself, take a step back. What is it that you think that you're not being kind with right now? What are things when somebody's kind to you, what are the feelings you get? What are the gestures that they give you for you to feel kind? You know, that kindness goes two ways. If somebody shows you an act of kindness, automatically it melts your heart a little bit, you know, and you're more likely to reciprocate. So think about that. If somebody's kind to you, you're more likely to give that kindness back. So think, has anyone been kind to you? You could just say, oh, thank you so much. That was a lovely gesture. And that could be one act of kindness. Another example, if your workplace is a new one at the moment and you're trying to infiltrate the act of kindness all around, you could start doing some acts of kindness, maybe once a week. You know, it could be Candy Friday or like Donut Tuesday or whatever it is, you know, or it could be a time where everyone talks about something memorable on a call once a week. Or you could be acknowledging people's achievements, for example. So that is a way of showing kindness. Another way could be in a team meeting. You ask everybody to look and talk about the person to their left on their Zoom screen or in person. So just say one kind thing about them, something you've noticed about them. And that is a great way to get started as well.
Oh, thank you so much. It's such a good thing. And I just imagine this kind of Zoom call. And it probably will be one of the best Zoom calls at the week if people just do it once a week or something. And, you know, sometimes it feels so interesting and so good when someone else is telling that, hey, I like this and this about you. And it can be things that you even have no idea that you have such kind of qualities or such kind of habits or personality, or that other people do value such things about you.
Absolutely.
And I'm so happy that right now there is a transition of cultivating more kind, more healthier work culture, and not focusing just on the rush and hey, go and do this here, like this list of tasks and whatever, but actually that companies are caring about being a good place for their employees, about being a place where people can grow, where people can learn, where people can be surrounded by a healthy culture, by other like good people that help us to cultivate and to show our best selves, and actually to be a more productive this way. Yeah. And we have the last question for today, and it is from Brian. And Brian is asking, what are the benefits of cultivating kindness culture for business?
Brian, that's a good question. So here's the thing about kindness. Traditionally in the workplace, people didn't think of kindness as even being a skill that was required. You know, we used to think of just professional and personal life being separate, you know, being efficiency driven, and that was a very much workplace skill. Now kindness is very much part of it. What does kindness do? Why do we need it in the workplace? Well, we say kindness is contagious. Somebody is kind, you're more likely to reciprocate. We say kindness is creative. For example, it's research has shown, I think it was actually at Coca-Cola that the study was done, where employees were shown an kind act by their managers, and lo and behold, they all started to become more creative in the projects that they were delivering. So there you go. Also from a business standpoint, you know, kindness is shown to increase revenue. Why? Because you're more likely to engage and feel part of the company. You enjoy it more. Kindness is also, it's better for your mental health and your well-being. You feel that someone's been kind to you, you're more likely to accept it, and you know, you feel better, you enjoy the work environment more, and you're about to spread it to others too. So everything, all in all, it's all about kindness. It's uplifting, it's better for you, it's better for your colleagues, it's better for everyone.
Thank you, Rita. I'm so glad that this week we discussed the topic of kindness. And guys, get ready. Next week we're gonna deep dive in the topic of failure. So feel free to submit your questions and start submitting your questions even now. And we can't wait to help you to learn more about this topic and to overcome it.
Thank you, Natalie, for saying that. You know what? Failure is actually one of my favorite topics, because if you don't fail, you cannot succeed. And we all have that in our lives. So I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what questions we have in store for us next week.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rita. It was nice talking to you. And guys, see you next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.